Hey, and welcome to the Ruby Tuesday. My name's Ruby, and this is my review for Hulu's original film, Mother Android. Let me know in the comments below, had you even heard of this film? Did you know it was coming? It's coming out tomorrow, Friday, on Hulu. It will be out on Netflix in the UK in January sometime, but you're going to have to wait a bit. It's not one of those titles that's coming to Starz Disney platform. So for now, let's jump in. In a post-apocalyptic world rocked by a violent android uprising, a young pregnant woman and her boyfriend desperately search for safety. Stars Chloe Grace Moretz as Georgia and Raul Castillo as Arthur. This is one of those reasons that we all fear messing with AI, that eventually Skynet will happen and they will take over and we will get the Terminator. Except this is a very indie Terminator set mostly in the woods. And what I find with Hulu original films, they're very hit or miss. I guess that could be said by most platforms, but particularly with Hulu. I feel like I either really love them or they're really just don't hit it out of the park for me. I'm really not sure what I feel about this one. On one hand, Chloe Grace Moretz, she plays a pregnant mom. Well, she finds herself pregnant. She goes through pregnancy in this different world. We start off at one place at the beginning of the film that's kind of giving us an illusion of what this film is, and then it jumps into trying to survive. And she has this partner that she kind of knows, doesn't really know. They really form a relationship through this pregnancy, and then obviously we have the android stuff and what the world looks like around that. And I would say for the most part, the world is very realized for what we get to see. I find it quite frustrating. There's a lot of what the law is that you kind of want to know. It keeps you at bay for the most part until we get to, I would say, the last half an hour of the film, where you start understanding the motivations somewhat of the androids, or what they're up to, what their intentions are. There's a lot of kind of, I guess, cliches that it takes when it comes to the sci-fi. It's written and directed by the same person, so they have a fully understanding of what they wanted for this film. And I'm guessing they kind of got it out. They had a real idea of basically making this a journey in amongst something that is dangerous. So you got to get from point A to B and somehow try to survive that. And there are parts in this film that I really enjoyed. It was quite tense. There's a scene on a motorbike I thought was really good. Playing with sound, I thought that was really interesting. Having to be quite quiet around these androids, that kind of thing. The fact that they're very intelligent. But if you wanted to, you could totally pick apart this film. I would say probably the best thing about this film is Chloe Grace Moretz's performance as a pregnant woman. One of the best I've seen in a long time. Very believable. I've gone through this with my wife, having had I haven't had two kids, but she did, and I understand all the issues and what that comes with being pregnant. And so seeing her performance in that, I thought was very believable. I know for a fact that she went to Lamar's class. She did all the preparations she could for being pregnant and understanding what all of that entails. So she brought her A game to when it comes to that performance. When it comes to their relationship, I thought that was pretty real as well. So they were interesting in watching that. But there are moments when the film seems to teeter off on the left and just kind of go off on a tangent a bit, but doesn't really bring itself to what's actually happening in the story. I also feel like it's a little drawn out because it has that indie vibe. It's got a bit of a budget feel to it. But I've seen many films that are indie budget that do amazing things with their budget. This feels like, because it's outside a lot and intense and kind of little camps where you meet humans along the way, I just wanted to see more of the world. So it has that indie vibe, but by the time you get to the end, I was just like, yes, but what's off? What's going to happen next? What's actually happening? Can you please explain? So I feel like it's somewhat to this journey, which brings a sort of real tension to the film, because you imagine being pregnant and wondering when you're going to give birth, and you got to be around things that pick up any movement for you, and if you make noise, they will know it. You know, we've seen versions like this. We've seen the use of sound and that kind of dynamic before, and so that tenseness of the film, the journey part, I thought was the most exciting of it. Where it falls flat is that kind of world building where you want to know more, and it makes you kind of pick in the pieces. I guess some people will really like that. I'm really teetering here on the fence, because on one hand I enjoyed parts of it, and the other hand I just didn't know where it was going or really what it wanted to be. So I have mixed feelings about this. Performances is great. There are moments in the film I really enjoyed. Some set pieces were great. The outcome and the ending, I was just like, okay. I'm gonna give this 3 Nicolas Cages out of 5. I don't want to go lower than that because I did enjoy it for the most part, but there were definitely parts in it that irked me, and I felt a little bit long in the tooth when we hit that ending. I really wanted more answers. I kind of wanted the film to start where it ended. Does that make sense? From that point on, I find this a lot. I don't almost need to know the origin story. Tell me about it through flashbacks or moments that you've experienced, through stories that the new characters are experiencing in this world. Often the next story seems to be more interesting to me. At least that's what I want from it, where it's going to go. Terminator 2, I'm not saying Terminator 1 is Terminator 2 is better than 1, but I did love the story of 2 because of the recap of what they told in story 2. It has so much more prominence and weight to it. I'm kind of going off on a tangent. That's just my feelings on it. Let me know, are you going to watch this? Have you heard of it? What do you think of Hulu Originals in general? Thanks so much for watching this, but most of all, until next time, remember, live long and Tuesday.